Okay, so today I'm going to do something a little different. You know how you go on YouTube and you find all these how-to videos? And a lot of them, like how to make $1,000,000 and then how to invest and make $1,000,000. Everything's $1,000,000 and how to invest. I don't know if that's ever worked out for anybody. So I used my rectum here and I put, I have come up with something that I'm going to try and help everybody. And it's a foolproof method that I personally have used, and it's worked for me, and I want to share it with everybody else. And it's something that it's really hard to find on as far as investing. And so my how-to video is how to spend money. So I want to share my tips as far as how to spend money and just spend so much money you go totally in debt. And so I figure if I can share my experiences that I've used, that it's worked really great for me, I just want to share them all with you people. And so let's just dive right into it. And well, I can't list them in any particular order. They're all really important, but let's start out as a child. So you got to start really young. And basically, you want to grow up and think you know everything. Okay, you want to think, man, I know it all. You don't have to tell me anything, and you don't listen to anybody. Okay, and so then hopefully, you graduate high school. So I don't know if it's necessary, but hopefully you graduate high school, and what you want to do right after high school is you want to get married. You want to get married as young as you possibly can, and as soon as you can after high school. And then, pardon me here. So then after you get married, you want to get a job, and you want to get a job and you think, well, hey, I'm worth X amount of dollars per hour. That's fine. And you just get a job that, hey, $15 an hour, I'm your guy. And so it's all about choices. Okay, so it's a how-to video on how to spend money, okay? So you can get any job you want. It pertains to any job. So anyway, you get married right after high school, and then what you want to do within maybe a couple of years, you want to start having kids. You just want to have a family. And so then, you have a child, and then boom, your baby's born. And so that's a good expense for you right there. And then a couple years go by, you're raising your kid and you're paying your own way now. You got to have a place to live and you got to pay for that. And now you get married and now you have a child and you got to pay for that. So the expenses start to add up right away, right there. And so then, usually the apartment that you're living in is probably a little too small. So, hey, maybe I need a 2-bedroom apartment now because we got the young one on the way. I mean, it's already been born. So we got the young one, and so you move and you go to a more expensive of an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, because, your family's growing. So you're there for a little bit, and then you say, hey, life's really good. Life's really good. I'm in my early 20s here. So you got to use your rectum again here. Let's buy a house. And so you go, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's buy a house. And so you find a house, you buy it, okay? Once you move into that house, within the first year that you're living in there, you want to have more kids. You want to have more kids because you got more rooms. I got a 3-bedroom house now. What am I going to do with the empty bedroom? So you need to have more children. And so the next one comes along, and then doggone it if you don't have twins. You know what I'm saying? You have twins, so you go from 1 child to 3 child. And boy, that can escalate the process right there. So for those of you who are able to do that, you're on your way to a good spending lifestyle, let's say. So you do that, and then you realize, whoa, hey, I'm out of work here, things aren't going really well all of a sudden, it's like I got all these bills and so then what you get, you have to borrow. You got to borrow some money. You want to go down and borrow, borrow as much as you can, that you can make the payments on. So then things go on and then they start, school starts, and then it really starts to snowball on you. It's amazing how it just picks up speed, how much money you start spending, because kids are a lot of money. You got to buy clothes, you got to buy this, and then, hey, you got to put them in gymnastics, because all kids have got to go to gymnastics and dance. You got to put them in dance because they like to dance. You got to keep them busy. You got to make the kids happy, and so again, that's another good expense that you start forking that out. Sorry, I'm a little parched. So anyway, you go through the gymnastics, you go to dance class and all that, and then the bills really start piling up on the clothes. Shoes, it's unbelievable. So things go on and on and on, and then you gradually work up. The kids get to junior high school, intermediate school, or whatever you want to call it, and then they got to go. Hey, they got to play in the band. They need an instrument. And then you also got Girl Scout cookies. You got to fork out money for that stuff. And you got to fork out money for the schools to support the school. So that's a good chunk of change right there. And then it goes right up onto high school area. And then you got to go to a private school. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to everybody go public school. Then you can't go to a public school. You got to go to a private school. So if you want to really add on the debt and the spending and to really increase that, you want to put your kids in a private school. And then, hey, they want to play sports. Okay, so you start forking out the money for the sports and the private school, and that can really escalate it. And you're well on your way of just totally spending money and piling up the debt. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, after they go through the high school and stuff, hey, they got to go to college. They go to college, and boy, that's an expense for you right there when you start going to these colleges. And so, again, that adds to the nest egg as far as piling up the debt and spending money. And then they go through the college, they finally graduate. You hope they graduate. You want them to have a good education. You want them to be better than you. You know what I'm saying? And because that's the way I wanted to be. I want to be better than my parents. That's another story right there. But so anyway, after they graduate, and then I had girls, you know what I'm saying? So they meet Mr. Right. Yeah, they meet Mr. Right, and now they're going to get married to Mr. Right. Well, that's an expense that'll really escalate your spending in a hurry. You'll escalate the spending in a hurry, definitely. And you do that like 3 different times because all 3 of them meet Mr. Right. And Daddy, he'll do anything for me. Yeah, he will. He certainly will. And then you pay for the 3 weddings, and then boom, they're gone. And you go, oh my God, finally, it's my time. You know what I'm saying? No. Then grandchildren come along. Grandkids come along, and then you get a lot of parties, a lot of parties. Those little blow-up bouncy houses, man, those things aren't cheap, I'll tell you that. And so you can start piling on again. Luckily you save maybe just a little bit of money after all the weddings and stuff, and just to pay enough for the grandkids to have a darn good birthday day. We got to have a nice party. Yeah. So anyway, you start forking out money on that, and the next thing you know, you got a bunch of grandkids and a bunch of parties, and it's like one a month almost. It's like one a month of party, and so finally it gets to the time for you, okay, to maybe possibly retire. So, you know what I'm saying? To retire, and so you can go back to your nest egg, that the money that you've been able to save up, and finally, gosh darn it. Well, and it doesn't work out for you. It doesn't work out. You have all these plans that you want to retire early. You want, hey, I want to travel. I want to do some things and stuff. And then you realize, hey, wait a minute, I did it all wrong. I did it all wrong because there's no more money. You know what I'm saying? And then you finally realize, hey, I'm going to be working the rest of my life. And then you realize, hey, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't have that many more years left anyway. So why not work the rest of my life? I mean, what am I going to do? Sit home, relax, have a good time? Why do that? So anyway, this came to me today while I was at work, thinking, did I have anything to share for the people on YouTube that are looking to try and save money and make a decent living for themselves? And instead of going to these how-to videos on how to make $1 million, I want to teach you people how to spend money, how it spends money like crazy, and where you have no money, where you're totally in debt. So, if you take my advice and do completely the opposite that I just did, that I've done in my life, do completely the opposite, maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to retire someday. So I hope that helps. If you want me to make any more of these videos, please leave a comment below and I'll be more than happy to share more tips on how to spend money. Take care. We'll see you in the next video.